May we come in?
Yes, take a seat.
So what's the deal, Mr. Travis?
Yeah, we need to close. Well, I called you both because we take a brief meeting.
A naming for what?
Yeah, we're doing a meeting if we already had any classes. It's not about the classes, it's more about your tone and knowledge. So, I know you're I've been watching your assistance and attention with the teams that I provide in class, and it honestly very valid, and not to mention the grades that you earned on this motion. I'd like to give you this brief aid, not only to improve your skills, but also to reach your knowledge and your grades at the same time. In exchange, I'll be sure to upgrade your scores in this partial. So would you take this deal?
If that's the case, and if you see real upgrade our scores, then I will take it.
Me too, but I'm really to us. How would you provide therapy? In exchange, I'll be sure to upgrade your scores in this partial. And so you would you like to take it?
If that's the case, and you are sure to upgrade our scores, then I will take it.
Me too, but I've been meaning to ask. How would you provide the same that you're talking about? And I'm not going to do the egg. I'll put someone who will help me to develop it. Kevin?
Is this the phonetics class?
Yes, this is the final. Kids, I would like to introduce you to Mr. Martinez.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Kevin Martinez, and today I will be your speech therapist for this aid. Now, Carlos told me that you have certain difficulties on learning some things from his class. So, during this aiding, we will review a few amount of topics from his past sessions, such as vocal sounds like I and C, vocal sounds like V and B, the S and C sounds, tenses, final ED, final S, final I and G. Also, homophones, word singularities, syntax, spelling and punctuation difficulties, the age pronunciation, and short and long vowels. Will be some of the things that we will review on this aid.
Yeah, some of them seem quite difficult to understand. Are you sure that we will achieve to learn all these topics on your own?
Of course we will. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind doing this from the beginning.
Then let's not waste more time for Mr. Martinez and let's get started.
Great. Just let me proceed and we'll start the lessons. Okay, so the first thing to start on and review this aid will be the vocal sounds. Now, do you remember what vocal sounds can be? Go on, don't be shy. Yes, Jimena?
Vocal sounds are the sounds that are made when we speak English, right?
You're right about the language definition, but your definition is quite wrong. Caillou, do you have another meaning for vocal sounds?
Well, I don't remember a lot, but unvocal sounds a sort of pitch that is made out of our mouth.
Now, that's a better way to explain. So yeah, vocal sounds are the way that our mouth provides to enhance and intonate the words that we're trying to say. But sounds don't deserve equal recognition because for vocal sounds to work, they need to provide the right intonation. deserve the whole recognition, because for vocal sounds to work, they need to provide not only the intonation, but also what is meant to be the stressed syllables. Now, stressed syllables, in a few words, are the syllables that deserves more emphasis on a speaker's tone. And to ease their use, it is required a phonetic tool for the syllabic stress to be used through volume, pitch, and length. Most English words that only have two syllables will place stress on the first syllable through volume, pitch, and length. Most English words can only have two syllables that will place the stress on the first syllable. But where the stress belongs actually depends on the word's type, noun, adjective, or verb. Unfortunately, we can kill three birds with a stone, providing this information with the I and E, the V and B, and the S and C sounds.
Hold on, mister.
Yes?
I have a question. How do stress syllables involve the vocal sound?
Now, that's a good question, Jimena. You see, the stressed syllable gives a certain prominence or strength to the pronunciation of a certain syllable in a word. Just take the three words that we will review, all of them, and they may provide a similar result. But it isn't absolutely right.
Are we going to review the sounds already?
Yes, Camille. Yes, will do. So, to start on, let's begin with the S and C sounds. Now, the S and C sounds are very similar words. The difference between both sounds is that the C sound is made by using the vocal cords, while the S sound is made without using the vocal cords. And as a quick reminder, if the last consonant of the word is a voiceless sound, then the S is pronounced as S. A less difficult way for the S sound to be identified can come from its tone. You see, if at the end of the word the S letter sounds very short, then it provides that the letter includes a sound coming from S. On the other side, if the last letter of the words ends in a voiced consonant for the sound, then the S is pronounced like a C. As an easier way to assure if a word provides the C sound, some words provide a tone which sounds similar as a buzz from a V. And many words achieve to sound that way at the end of its sound.
Alright, so as I understood, both of the letters have a similar intonation, but what the person denotes from the fact that they have a distinct sound.
That's correct. And this method can be also applied to the other vocal words. Just reminding to analyze the sound. That's correct. And this method can be also applied on the other vocal words. Just reminding to analyze the sound and apply their differences to confirm from where will the word come from. Understood?
Yes, we do understand, but the other question I have comes from the B and B sound. How can we use the B and B sound?
Well, Jimena, the B and V sounds are pronounced the same, but the pronunciation is of the special kind of an in-between English B and V. It's like trying to say English V, but with the lips barely touching. For my case in particular, I pronounce it like an English to only after an N, because the lips are already closed. or at the beginning of a sentence in general. So, in fact, B and V are pronounced the same in Spanish. They're both pronounced as B, V.
Note that you're telling, know how we use the I and E sounds too.
Alright, in this case, let's just say in a few words that both I and E sounds provide the intonation of their alphabetical side, with the I sound providing a softly intonation, while the E sound provides a thicker and a bit larger pronunciation. But to make it more easier, why don't we do an activity to review this theme? Not at all. We'll be using our devices for a brief game about this theme. Now, I'm going to send you a link and we will play a game. Now, this game will require us to tap the answers that remain to be right. And so for that, with our device, we have to tap as many answers as we can do. So let's get ready to set this now. Congrats to you. Now, now that this is already explained, we shall proceed the following topic, which are the use of tenses.
Hold on, are we supposed to review something else?
What do you mean?
I'm saying that we should proceed with something related to an ED or S thing, or at least that's what I remember that you said.
Ah, now I see what you're meaning. Okay, just let me explain. Now, offense is a form of the verb that allows to express the thing that is wanted to say. When it's referred to express a time, we have three choices so the word that is wanted to say can work, which are the present tense, the past tense, and the future tense. These three types of tenses can help us for communicating, both verbally and in written form, because it helps us clearly to indicate the time at which something has happened.
I'm saying that we should proceed with something related with an. Otra vez.
Tenses are a grammatical term used to describe time. That is, whether an action or a state happened in the past, and is happening in the present, or will happen in the future. But one that shall be reminded is that all these tenses provided will use the ending with the S, the ed, and ing the majority of time.
So that's why you were teaching us the use of the past, present, and future tenses.
Yes, that's right. And it's an easier way for understanding of both of the themes and associating each other. Now, to join the tenses and their word ending, it is absolutely required to understand the pronunciation that belongs on each tense, which shall be ed for past tenses, s for present, and sometimes for future. And last but not least, ing for the future tenses. The ed is used to form the regular past tense of a verb. We use the past tense to talk about things happening before the present or about completed actions. While the present tense provides to use the common nouns which makes a phrase to sound as if it's happening right now, to provide that you're saying something at the exact moment. Please, the case of the future tense. This tense provides the ing on the phrases, foretelling something that is going to happen later. So the tense assures the right pronunciation. I think another gaming match will set perfectly to review this theme. Now, let me show you the game's link. Now, before we dive into the next topic, do you have any ideas or what will come to your mind if I ask for the meaning of a syntax? Yes, Caillou?
Already, syntax the rules that provide the ways in which words combine to form sentences.
You stole what I was about to say, but you're right. So yeah, syntax is the arrangement of words and phrases in a specific order which allows to change the position or even one word, and even to change the meaning of an entire sentence.
But how is that even possible?
Well, Jimena, the purpose of the syntax is to provide a right order for us to speak, create a sentence, and for pronouncing it. Just like right now that we're talking to each other. So, in fact, we can say that the syntax weighs the right pronunciation for saying or writing something. But a syntax can only work by itself without require a right spelling and pronunciation, and also including whether short or long vowels, which can be some of the key features for it to work. But since there is a lot to provide out there, why don't we play a final game that involves all these sources in one?
Is that even possible?
Of course it does. Besides, all three of them provide a relation between each other so they can work. Now, let's get into a final round. Alright, so with this theme already explained, we conclude today's AD.
That's it.
There's nothing else to review.
No, this was the whole class for today. You see, why did I tell you that we'll kill birds with one stone? Because many of the themes provided can involve one to each other, like the three types of vowel sounds, the tenses and the final sounds, homophones with word similarities, and the syntax along with the three final lessons. Well, if you mean it in that way, then yes.
But how can we differentiate the words if there are many that use homophones?
That's a good question, and the answer is quite simple. For differentiate homophones, the pitch of the words can be a tool to compare a word with another. As for the writing part, the word itself already tells their differences. At least that's the method I can ensure for different them. I wanted to provide a didactical and quick way for reviewing the themes that you have difficulties with, so the editing doesn't seem boring or less easy. So, we will leave it from there. It was great to live with this edit along with you guys.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No problem. Have a nice day and take care.